The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets overhead, casting jagged shadows across the tiled floor slick with shower runoff. I slammed my locker shut, heart pounding from the swim meets adrenaline crash, when Alex's hand shot out firm, unyielding, pinning me against the cold metal door. His breath was hot against my neck, eyes wild with something I'd never seen before, not anger, not fear, but a hunger that mirrored the storm raging inside me. In that split second, as our chests heaved in sync and the world narrowed to the space between us, I knew whatever came next would shatter the fragile lie we'd built our friendship on. I'd known Alex since we were kids splashing in the shallow end of the community pool in suburban Chicago, back when summers meant scraped knees and stolen popsicles. He was the one who dared me to dive deeper, who laughed off my awkward phases with that crooked grin that made everything feel possible. We were inseparable, Hudson and Alex, the dynamic duo of Lincoln High, sharing secrets under the bleachers, trading playlists for late-night runs, and dreaming of escaping this cookie-cutter town for something bigger, brighter. But lately, those dreams had twisted into nightmares of what-ifs, the kind that kept me staring at my ceiling fan until dawn, wondering if the knot in my gut was just nerves or the truth I'd buried deeper than my swim trunks. That afternoon in the locker room, though, the air felt heavier, charged like the Midwest sky before a thunderstorm. Practice had been brutal, coach barking orders, laps blurring into a rhythm of flip, turns, and freestyle fury. I'd crushed my personal best in the 200-meter. But victory tasted like ash because Alex had been off his game. Fumbling starts, glaring at the lane dividers like they owed him answers. As the team filtered out, towels snapping and banter fading down the hall, it was just us. Me, fumbling with my lock. Him lingering by the benches, towel slung low on his hips, water still dripping from his curls. "Hudson," he said, voice low and rough, like gravel under tires. He stepped closer, too close, blocking my escape. My back hit the locker with a thud that echoed in my ribs. Up close, I could see the flecks of gold in his hazel eyes, the faint scar above his lip from that skateboarding wipeout in 8th grade. "We need to talk." My throat went dry. Talk? About what? The way I'd caught him staring during warm-ups, or how my pulse spiked every time our shoulders brushed in the huddle. I'd chalked it up to bro stuff. The easy camaraderie of guys who'd seen each other puke after too many beers at a bonfire. But denial was a flimsy shield, cracking under the weight of stolen glances in the weight room, the accidental linger of his hand on my shoulder after a high five. "Alex. Man. Not now. Coach is waiting." "No." His palm flattened against the locker beside my head, caging me in. The scent of chlorine and his cedar body wash wrapped around us. Intoxicating. Suffocating. "Not later. Now. Because if I don't say it, it'll eat me alive." I swallowed hard, my eyes flicking to the door, half praying someone would burst in and shatter this moment. But the hall stayed silent, the distant slam of the gym doors sealing our fate. "Say what?" My voice cracked, betraying me, and his gaze softened just a flicker before hardening with resolve. "That I'm done pretending." His free hand ghosted my arm, fingers tracing the goosebumps rising on my skin. "That every time you're in the water, slicing through like you own the damn ocean, I can't look away. That I replay that night at the lake house, when we crashed on the same couch, your leg against mine, and I wanted God. Hudson, I wanted to kiss you so bad it hurt." The words hung there, raw and reckless, punching the air from my lungs. My mind reeled back to that summer weekend, bonfires and bad horror movies, the way his laughter had vibrated through me in the dark. I'd woken up tangled in sheets, his warmth seeping into my bones, and dismissed the flutter in my chest as hangover haze. But now, with his body inches from mine, heat radiating like a live wire. The truth crashed over me. I'd felt it too. The pull, the ache, the terrifying beauty of wanting your best friend in ways that could ruin everything. Alex, I whispered, my hand lifting of its own accord, hovering near his chest. Touch him, and there's no going back. Don't. And this cage of silence builds higher. His eyes searched mine, pleading. And in that vulnerability, I saw the boy who'd defended me from bullies in middle school. The one who'd held my hand platonically. We'd insisted through my parents' divorce. He wasn't just confessing. He was handing me his heart, wrapped in all our shared history. Say something, he urged, voice breaking. Tell me to back off. And I will. But don't lie to me. Hud. Not to me. The dam broke. I surged forward, crashing my lips against his, not gentle, not tentative, but desperate, like I'd been drowning and he was air. He froze for a heartbeat, then melted into it, his hand cupping my jaw, the other threading through my damp hair. It was messy, urgent teeth clashing, breaths mingling and gasps, the taste of salt and mint exploding between us. The locker room faded. It was just us, finally colliding after years of orbiting too close to the sun. When we broke apart, foreheads pressed together, panting, the world tilted back into focus. Laughter echoed from the parking lot, teammates horsing around, and reality slammed home. What now? The team. Our families. The small-minded whispers that already swirled around Lincoln High like smoke. But in his eyes, I saw it, not regret, but a fierce, quiet promise. We jumped, and damn if we weren't free-falling together. That night, as I lay in bed replaying the press of his mouth, the way his stubble had rasped against my skin, sleep evaded me. Text lit up my phone, coach's post-meet recap. Mom asking about dinner, but none from him. Panic clawed at my chest. Had it been a mistake? A heat of the moment slip. By dawn, my thumb hovered over his contact, drafting and deleting messages until the words blurred. School dragged like wet cement. First period calc. I doodled lane markers in my notebook, stealing glances at the empty seat where Alex usually slumped. Half asleep. He was late, unheard of for the guy who set 3 alarms. Whispers rippled through the halls, something about a family thing. His truck breaking down. Relief mixed with dread. At least it wasn't ghosting. Lunch hit like a lifeline. I spotted him in the quad, hunched over a sandwich, staring at his phone like it held state secrets. Our eyes locked across the crowd, and my stomach flipped, half terror, half thrill. I wove through the chaos of trays and chatter, dropping beside him on the low wall, our thighs brushing in a way that sent sparks up my spine. Hey, I muttered, bumping his shoulder. Casual, like we hadn't rewritten our rules yesterday. Hey. He didn't pull away, but his smile was tight, eyes darting to the jocks, tossing a football nearby. About. Not here. I nodded toward the old oak tree at the edge of the field. Our old hideout. He followed without a word. The silence between us thick as fog off Lake Michigan. Under the branches, leaves crunching underfoot, he leaned against the trunk, arms crossed like armor. I didn't sleep. Kept thinking you'd regret it. That I'd fucked up the best thing in my life. Me too. Honesty burned, but it was freeing. But I don't regret it. I mean, I groped for words. Cheeks heating. Real. Scary as hell. But real. His laugh was soft. Relieved. Breaking the tension like sunlight through clouds. He reached for my hand, lacing our fingers, tentative at first. Then sure. Then we figure it out. Together. No more hiding. We sat there until the bell. Palms sweaty. Hearts sinking to the same wild beat. It felt like the start of something epic, a rebellion against the straight-laced script we'd been handed. But as we walked back, hands slipping apart under prying eyes, I caught the flicker of doubt in his gaze. Chicago's suburbs weren't exactly rainbow flags and pride parades. They were pickup trucks and church suppers, where different got you sidelined fast. Practice that evening tested us. In the pool, side by side, every stroke felt charged as Flip turned a mirror to mine, our splashes sinking like a duet. Out of the water, though, the locker room loomed like a gauntlet. We dressed in silence, backs turned, but the memory of his body against mine lingered, a ghost touch that made my skin hum. Then Jake, our cocky relay anchor, sauntered in, slapping Alex on the back. "Dude, you were off today. Girl troubles." He winked, oblivious, and my gut twisted. Alex forced a chuckle, mumbling something about a headache, but his eyes met mine over Jake's shoulder, dark with the weight of secrets. That night, we snuck out to the quarry, the one with the rope swing and echoes that swallowed screams. Moonlight silvered the water as we stripped to boxers, cannonballing in with whoops that scattered fireflies. Surfacing, gasping, he pulled me close, the cool current swirling around us. "This," he murmured against my temple. This is worth the risk." We kissed under the stars, slow and deep, hands exploring with a reverence that stole my breath. It was more than lust. It was affirmation, a vow etched in ripples. But as we dried off on the rocky shore, shivering in the autumn chill, reality crept back. "What about your dad?" I asked, knowing Mr. Ramirez's belt and Bible verses all too well. Alex's jaw tightened. "He suspects. Always has. Thinks it's a phase." He traced patterns on my knee, voice dropping. "But if he knew about you, we'll tell them when we're ready." I squeezed his hand, willing strength into the lie. Inside, fear gnawed what, if ready, never came. Weeks blurred into a fragile rhythm. Stolen moments in the chem lab, his foot hooked around mine under the desk. Late-night drives to the city, windows down, his hand on my thigh as indie tracks wailed about broken hearts. We were careful, laughing off the team's ribbing, dodging questions about weekend plans. But the high of us warred with the low of pretense, like swimming with weights strapped to your ankles. Thanksgiving loomed, a family gauntlet. Mine was easier. Mom's new boyfriend, too wrapped up in football to notice my distraction, but Alex's, a powder keg. I tagged along to their feast, the Ramirez house smelling of turkey and tension. His sister Maria shot me knowing glances, her quiet support a bomb. But his father's eyes bored into us across the table, dissecting every shared look. "You boys still thick as thieves." Mr. Ramirez grunted, carving the bird with surgical precision. "Always, sir," Alex replied, foot nudging mine under the clothes' secret Morse code. That night, in the guest room, he slipped in after midnight, sliding under the covers with a whispered apology. We didn't speak, just held on, his heartbeat a lullaby against my chest. But dawn brought the reckoning, his dad waiting in the kitchen, arms crossed, voice like thunder. "Alexander, we need to talk. About Hudson." My blood froze in the hallway shadows. Eavesdropping felt wrong, but flight impossible. "Dad, it's not. Don't lie to me. Mijo, I see how you look at him. Like he's your whole world." Pause. Heavy as lead. "Is it that way?" Silence stretched, eternal. Then, Alex's voice, steady as a freestyle stroke. "Yeah, it is." The slap echoed flesh on flesh, and my vision tunneled. I burst in, heart slamming. "Mr. Ramirez, out," he roared. But Alex stepped between us, chin high, No, this is who I am. And Hudson's part of that. Love him or hate it. But don't hurt him. The room spun. Mr. Ramirez's face crumpled, not rage, but grief. Old wounds reopening. My boy. What have I done? He sank into a chair, head in hands, while Maria hovered, tears streaking. We fled to my place. Alex's cheek blooming red. My fists clenched against the injustice. Mom took one look and brewed tea. Her quiet, "It's okay. Boy's a lifeline." We crashed on the couch, tangled and tear-streaked, whispering futures over hot mugs, colleges far away, apartments with views of something other than cornfields. But the fallout rippled. School buzzed with rumors, Jake's sly digs in the locker room, graffiti on Alex's truck, freak. Practices turned toxic. Coach pulling us aside with gruff, "Focus." Boys that masked deeper worries. I wanted to scream, to claim us publicly, but fear chained my tongue. Alex, though, burned brighter, defiant kisses in empty hallways, his hand in mine at the mall, daring the world to blink. Winter break hit like a reprieve. We drove to Milwaukee, crashing at a cheap motel, the city lights a glittering escape. Snow fell soft as we wandered Lake Michigan's frozen edge, breath fogging in the cold. Remember our first sleepover? He asked, gloved hand in mine. You dared me to eat that ghost pepper, and I puked rainbows. I laughed, pulling him close. Best blackmail material ever. Our lips met, snowflakes melting on lashes. And for a moment, we were invincible. But invincibility cracked on New Year's Eve. A party at Jake's was flowing. Bass thumping turned ugly when a tipsy teammate cornered Alex by the keg. So, Ramirez, you and Hudson bumping uglies. That's some gay-ass shit. Laughter erupted, cruel and cacophonous. Alex's fist flew before I could blink, connecting with a crack that silenced the room. Chaos erupted, shoves, shouts until Jake lunged, tackling him to the carpet. I dove in, hauling Jake off, my own punches landing wild. Blood on my knuckles. Alex's lip split. We stumbled out into the night, sirens wailing in the distance. In my car, bruised and buzzing with adrenaline. He broke. I can't do this. Hud. The hiding. The hate, it's poisoning us. No. I cupped his face, thumbs brushing tears. It's poisoning them. We're the strong ones. We fight for us. He nodded, fierce, and we drove through the storm, wipers slashing at the sleet. Home. We patched wounds with ice and whispers, making love slow and sacred, bodies mapping promises in the dark. It was vulnerable. Electric his gasps, my symphony, my name a prayer on his lips. Spring thawed the ice, but not the chill. Coach benched us both after the fight. Cool off period, his code for sort your drama. Meat suffered. The relay faltered without our sync. Whispers evolved to isolation lunch, trays untouched. Invitations revoked. Maria rallied allies. A quiet queer club at school forming shields. But the toll mounted. Alex withdrew. Shadows under his eyes. Smiles forced. One rainy April afternoon, after a crushing loss, I found him by the pool, staring at the still water like it held answers. I'm drowning, he admitted, voice hollow. Not in laps in this. What if we end up like those stories? Beaten down, broken. I knelt beside him, water lapping our reflections. Then we swim harder. Together. I kissed his temple, tasting salt. You're my anchor, Alex. My everything. He turned, eyes searching, and pulled me into the shallow end clothes and all splashing until laughter bubbled up. Chasing ghosts. We treaded water, foreheads touching, vowing resilience. Graduation crept closer. A beacon. Colleges beckoned to UCLA's swim program. Him to Northwestern's track scholarship. Distance loomed. A new monster. But we planned visits. Summers in Cali. Futures intertwined. Pride Month bloomed. Rainbows on lockers a tentative truce. We marched in Chicago's parade. Hands linked high. Cheers washing over us like waves. Yet the climax brewed in June. State finals. The arena hummed chlorine sharp. Crowds roaring. We qualified for the medley relay. Redemption on the line. Breaststroke was mine. Butterfly. His killer event. On the block. Our eyes locked love. Trust. Fire. The gun cracked. Backstroke led off strong. Freestyle handed us second. My dive was poetry. Pulls propelling us to first. Then Alex's arms slicing air. Undulating through the blue like a dolphin unleashed. Touching the wall. We clinched gold. The timer beeping victory. In the haze of cheers. He grabbed me mid-celebration. Kissing me fierce and full right there. On the deck. Cameras flashing. Gasps rippled. Then applause. Coaches whoop loudest. It was declaration. Defiance. Dawn. Back home. Mr. Ramirez waited not with belts, but open arms. Proud of you. Son. He choked. Hugging Alex tight. Both of you. Summer unfurled golden. We worked odd jobs. Save for a road trip route 66 dreams. Motels and milestones. One desert night. Under infinite stars. He proposed not rings. But words, marry me someday. When the world's ready. Yesterday. I whispered. Sealing it with a kiss. College separated us miles. But not hearts FaceTimes at dawn. Surprise flights. Letters scented with ocean salt. Challenges came jealous exes. Family strains but we navigated. Stronger each storm. Years later. At our wedding in a sun-drenched Chicago park. Vows echoing our first confessions. I looked at him still that crooked grin. Now lined with laugh lines and knew. That locker room corner wasn't the end. It was Genesis. Of us. Of love that bends, but never breaks. Of a world remade. One brave touch at a time. The autumn after graduation painted UCLA's campus in fiery hues. Palm trees swaying like old friends waving hello. I dove into freshman orientation with the single-minded focus of someone fleeing ghost sinless laps in the speaker pool. Anatomy lectures blurring into notes on muscle fibers. But every free stroke, every breath, carried Alex's echo, his laugh in the chlorine fog, the press of his palm against my back. We'd parted at O'Hare with a kiss that tasted of airport coffee and goodbye, promising weekly calls. But the miles stretched like an undertow, pulling doubts to the surface. My roommate, Tyler, was a surfer dude from San Diego, blonde. Breezy. Zero filter. Dude, you swim like a machine, he'd say, slapping my shoulder after spotting me in the gym. Oblivious to the ache gnawing my ribs. He dragged me to beach bonfires, where co-eds in bikinis flirted shamelessly. I'd smile. Deflect. But inside, panic simmered. What if this was it? Freedom to reinvent. To bury the boy who'd cornered his heart in a locker room. The first video call came glitchy. Pixels fracturing Alex's face. Tracks kicking my ass. He grinned. Sweat slick from a Northwestern workout. But Evanston's got this lake reminds me of the quarry. His voice dipped. Intimate. Miss you. HUD. Like. Physically hurts. Me too. We talked for hours classes. Crushes on professors. The absurdity of dorm food. But unspoken hung the fear, drift. When he mentioned a party. A guy named Riley who'd vibed. Jealousy twisted like a cramp. Just friends. He assured. But the seed planted. Midterms hit. A whirlwind of caffeine and chlorine. I aced bio. Bombed a chem quiz. Found solace in the water's embrace weightless, where secrets dissolved. Letters arrived. His scrawl on notebook paper, sketches of campus. Doodles of us as mermaids. Hold on. He'd written. Waves always turn. Thanksgiving pulled me east. A red-eye flight landing in Chicago's sleet. Mom picked me up. Her hug fierce. Heard from Alex. Casual. But her eyes probed. Every day? Lie by omission we'd fought last call. My snappish, go hang with Riley, met with his hurt silence. His truck idled outside his house. Headlights cutting fog. He emerged. Taller somehow. Curls longer. Wearing that faded track hoodie. No words, just collision. His mouth claiming mine against the cold metal door. Echoing our origin. Inside. On his childhood bed. We rediscovered each other slow. Reverent. Tracing new scars from growth spurts and grapples. Never again. He murmured into my neck. No doubts. Holiday blurred. Turkey with his family. Now tentatively inclusive Mr. Ramirez's gruff, past the gravy. Hudson a milestone. Maria teased us mercilessly. Her wedding Pinterest board already featuring tuxes. But under the cheer, Crack showed his dad sidelong glances. The neighbors whisper when we shoveled walks side by side. New Year dawned with resolutions, trust, transparency. Back at UCLA, I joined the school's LGBTQ+ alliance. Tentative at first, circle shares of coming out stories mirroring mine. Tyler caught me at a meeting. Brow arched. About time you spilled. Swimmer boy. His coming out tale over tacos bonded us. He became wingman. Not rival. Spring breaks in Cetus in Miami. Hostels and heat. We biked Key Biscayne. Salt wind whipping. Stopping at secluded beaches for kisses that salted our skin. One night. Waves lapping. He carved our initials in sand. Forever starts here. But a storm rolled in. Literal and figuratively call from home. Mr. Ramirez's heart scare. Minor but sobering. We raced back. Me flying standby. Hospital fluorescence buzzed like that locker room. Alex pale at his dad's bedside. Scared me. Mr. Ramirez admitted. Gripping our hands. Thought I'd lose you both to my stubbornness. Tears fell as. Our sub-baptism of forgiveness. Summer healed. I lifeguard in Chicago. He coached youth track. Evenings. Lakefront runs dissolving into picnics. Pride again. Boulder float on the Harley. His arm around me for the cameras. But whispers persisted, a teammate's parent petitioning coach for morals clause. We ignored. Focused on future's grad school dreams. Maybe coaching together. Fall semester 2 brought balance. Alex visited. Crashing my dorm. Tyler fleeing with exaggerated winks. Campus walks hand in hand drew stares. But Bruin pride buffered rainbow flags fluttering like allies. Yet distance gnawed. Calls shortened. Texts lagged. A weekend in Evanston revealed the rot, Riley. Lingering too close at a bar. Alex's laugh too bright. Whoa. I said later. In his twin bed. That your type now? He sighed. Tracing my jaw. Jealous. Good. Means you care. But truth surfaced, Riley's out. Easy. No baggage. Sometimes I wonder if we're crazy. Fighting for this in a world that doesn't care. I bolted up. Hurt flaring. We are this. Don't you dare quit us. Fury simmered into silence. Broken by makeup sex fierce. Reclaiming. But seeds of doubt sprouted. Winter break exploded. Holiday party at Maria Segnog flowing. Lights twinkling. Riley showed. Invited innocently. His hand on Alex's knee under the tree sparked my exit. Coat grabbed. Door slammed. Snow blurred my vision as I walked. Phone buzzing. HUD. Wait. He caught me blocks away. Breathless. It's nothing. You're everything. Then why him? Raw. Voice cracking. Because I'm scared. Of losing you to the distance. To normalcy. Tears froze on his cheeks. But I choose us. Always. We thawed in a diner. Pie and promises. Therapy. He suggested. For me. For the family stuff. I nodded. Committing to counseling center for queer athletes. Unpacking locker room legacies. Spring renewal. Joint spring break in New Orleans. Jazz and jambalaya. Mardi Gras beads tangled as we danced. Beads like badges of joy. Back. Synergy Academy relays undefeated. His sprints record-breaking. Visits monthly. Budgets stretched, but bonds ironclad. Summer internship for me in LA Sports Med. Him coaching camp. A week apart felt eternal. Bridged by daily Snapchat kids' goofy races. My patient raps. Reunion at O'Hare. Airport kiss viral on TikTok. Comments a mix of hearts and hate. We laughed it off. Heading to the lake house, our sanctuary. There. Under quilts. He whispered plans. Post-grad apartment in Chicago. Dual coaching gigs. Build our life. Fall senior year, dawn determined. Protests on campus anti-LGBTQ bills in Congress rallied us. We spoke at a rally. Voices shaking then steady. Sharing our story. Applause thundered. A reporter's feature in the Daily Bruin went national. Swimmers stroke for love. But glory shadowed by storm. Tyler's diagnosis cancer. Aggressive. My rock crumbled. I flew home weakly. Alex meeting me there. Holding space. We're fighters. He'd say. Echoing coach. Tyler rallied. Remission whispers. But the scare realigned. Life fragile. Love fierce. Thanksgiving. Expanded table Tyler's family too. Mr. Ramirez toasting to chosen kin. Laughter healed old hurts. Winter games, Big 10 for him. Pac 12 for me. Televised relays. We cheered screens. Sink dives and spirit. New Year's. Confetti and confessions. Rings soon. He teased. Spring break. Vegas de Turim Pulse Elvis Chapel. Vows exchanged in sequins and sincerity. Hudson Ramirez. He grinned. Band simple on fingers. Graduation duel. His in purple. Mine blue. Joint party. Pools lit. Toasts to tomorrows. Coach's speech. These boys taught me heart beats talent. Summer job offers. Assistant coaches. Chicago firm. Apartment hunt. Lakeview. Unpacked boxes with inside jokes. But epilogue's arc bent. A homophobic assault at a bar Alex targeted. Bruises blooming. Hospital vigil. My hand in his. We rise. Trials forged steel. Therapy deepened. Community built mentoring queer youth. Our story podcast fodder. Years layered. Promotions. Travels. Adoptions pondered. Vows renewed on anniversaries. Quarry dips ritual. Through tempests. That locker corner echo-ed changed Genesis. Love's anchor. We swam on. Tandem. Unbreakable. The first year out of college felt like emerging from a long underwater hold, gasping. Disoriented. But alive with possibility. Chicago welcomed us back with its brutal wind and brutal beauty. Our Wrigleyville walk-up a nest of exposed brick and exposed dreams. I landed the assistant swim coach gig at a Northside academy. Mornings spent diagramming drills for wide-eyed kids who reminded me of a gangly version of myself. Alex, ever the sprinter, bolted into a track program at the local community college. His energy infectious as he timed sprints and taped ankles. Mornings started synced, coffee brewing while he scrolled race results. Me plotting sets. Evenings tangled on our thrift store couch. Takeout containers as candlelit dinnerware. Remember that relay? He'd murmur. Foot hooked over mine. Felt like flying. But domesticity's rhythm masked undercurrents. My parents visited Mom beaming at our cozy setup. Dad's nods polite, but eyes skittish. His conservative roots clashing with our framed pride flag. Happy for you, son, he said, but the hug lingered awkward. Alex's family fared better. Maria's kids called us Uncle Huddy and Uncle Alex, tumbling through visits like puppies. Work through curveballs. A parent at the academy cornered me post-practice. Coach, my boy's got potential. But that lifestyle sets a bad example. I swallowed bile. Reported at HR ward. But the sting lingered echoes of Lincoln High's graffiti. Alex faced worse, a promising athlete. Out and proud. Dropped after a rival coach's smear. Talent don't matter if you're distracting. The kid spat, quitting in tears. We raged over beer at our local dive. Fists clenched. We fight this shit. Alex growled. But exhaustion etched his face. Fall brought football season. Tailgate's a minefield. Cubs games offered escape Wrigley Field's Ivy, a green cathedral where we held hands in the cheap seats. Cheers drowning judgment. One night, a drunk fan slurred past, fags ruining baseball. Alex tensed. I squeezed his knee. Ignore. We're here for the crack of the bat. But ignoring fractured. Holiday party at the academy, eggnog spiked. Egos loftier. A board member's wife. Tipsy. Cornered us. Adorable. Really. But do tone down the PDA. For the children. Alex's laugh was sharp glass. Lady. Love's the best lesson we got. We stormed out. Cab ride silent fury melting into urgent kisses at home. Screw them. He panted. Hands mapping my back. Lovemaking that night was reclamation slow builds to shattering peaks. Bodies affirming what words couldn't. Winter deepened resolve. We volunteered at a youth center. Mentoring LGBTQ plus teens. Stories poured. Rejections. Runaways. One kid. Jamie 16. Trans. Track hopeful mirrored Alex's fire. You too give me hope. He said after a session. Eyes bright. Spring thawed grudges. Dad called. Voice gruff. Saw your article in the Tribune. Proud. Hudson. Really? Tears pricked. Progress. Inching. Summer road trip healed cross-country. Motels and memories. Badlands hikes. His hand steadying my climb. Vegas revisit. Elvis serenade encore. Still yes. He whispered. Always. Fall 2, promotions loomed. I'd head coach. He. Program director. But a scandal rocked the center funding cut over moral concerns. Protests ensued. We marched. Signs high. Love wins laps. Media frenzy followed our wedding clip resurfaced. Interviews requested. Just coaches in love. I downplayed. But spotlight warmed. Thanksgiving. Full circle, dad at table. Carving turkey beside Mr. Ramirez. Toasts clinked to family. Flawed and fierce. Winter games, coaching dual state meets. Our teams sinking like old relays. A win. Confetti shower. His kiss salt-kissed. Spring break. Hawaii dream volcano treks. His proposal echo in lava flows. Build more. Beachside. Ring upgraded. Grad 2-year marks. Anniversaries with vow renewals. Private. Profound. But are crested in crisis. Alex's knee blew during a demo ACL tear. Sidelined 6 months. Hospital gurney. His humor masking fear. Guess you'll carry me now. Rehab grind. Me at bedside. Jamie visiting with bad jokes. You're unbreakable. Coach. Summer rebuilt. PT pools. My lapse's mirror. Vulnerability bonded deeper nights of his head on my chest. Whispers of thank you. Fall 3. Return triumphant. First meet coached from stands. Team dedicated win for Alex. Media again. Feature on resilience. Queer athletes rising. Holiday lights brighter. Doubts dimmed. Winter wonder. Surprise adoption papers. Fostering first. Little Mia. 8. Wide-eyed at our pool parties. Spring bloom. Family grew. Love multiplied. Through seasons. Locker echo. Changes gift. Enduring. The adoption papers felt heavier than Olympic medals. Ink drying on dreams we'd sketched in hurried notebooks years ago. Mia arrived on a drizzly May morning. Duffel clutched like a shield. Social workers nod our cue. 8 years old. Braids frayed. Eyes too old for her face. Foster shuffles casualty. Biracial spark in a system that dimmed lights. This your forever? She asked, surveying our apartment's chaos of coaching whistles and track spikes. Alex knelt. Hazel eyes level. If you'll have us. Her nod was tentative, blooming to grin when he swung her onto shoulders for a tour pool posters. Our wedding photo framed proud. First weeks, minefield of milestones. Bedtime stories stuttered and fumbling Dr. Seuss. Alex channeling his sister's flair. School enrollment sparked battles principles, family structure, query met my steel. 2 dads. 1 heart. Sign here. Mia thrived. Doodling relays and margins. But nightmares jerked us awake, her whimpers echoing old hurts. Summer camp. We co-directed a sports day camp. Mia mascot and tiny whistle. Kids swarmed queer. Straight. Spectrum learning passes and passes at judgment. One evening bonfire. She roasted marshmallows. Confiding, Mom said I was mistake. You think? Alex's arm around her, nah. Kiddo. You're our plot twist. Best kind. Fall routines rooted. Mornings, me brewing oats. Him braiding her hair with YouTube cheats. Drop-offs hand in hand. Her backpack swinging. Coaching Amped Academy team, nationals bound. His program scouting talent. But balance teetered. Date nights squeezed between parent-teachers and PDAs. Thanksgiving feast, extended kin cram mom's pie. Dad's stories thawed warmer. Mr. Ramirez's tamale spice. Mia's prayer, thanks for seconds. Laughter cascaded. Winter wonderland, first snow. Sledding in Grant Park. Her squeal symphony. Holiday cards featured us 3 crayon scribbles over stock poses. But shadows loomed. A custody review routine. They said probed stability. Caseworkers' notes, non-traditional unit. We lawyered up. Testimonies poured, Jamie's letter on mentorship. Coaches vouch for character. Hearing day. Courtroom sterile. Mia's drawing clutched stick figures linked hearts. Judge's gavel, approved. Congratulations. Family. Relief crashed like waves. Home. Pizza party. Her hug bone-crushing. Forever real. Locked in. Alex winked. Spring surged. Mia's school play tree in Wizard of Oz, us front row. Tissues ready. Post-curtain ice cream. Her Dorothy dreams spilling. Summer splash. Family vacay to Wisconsin Dells Water Parks. Her cannonballs matching mine. Alex's knee held. Races rigged for her wins. Fall 4. Elementary milestones first crush. A classmate's note passed blushing. Boys or girls? We asked casual. Anyone kind. She shrugged. Wisdom precocious. Work wins, my team gold. His protege Olympics bound. Media buzz, power couple coaches family first. But arc twisted, diagnosis dropped me as asthma. Severe. ER runs. Inhalers and lockers. Fear gripped, fragility anew. Winter wrapped tight, holiday lights therapy. Carols her anthem. Specialist tweaks. Stability steadied. Spring resilience, her track club join. Tiny spikes flying. We cheered. Hearts full. Through it. Locker legacy. Corners spark. Families flame. Mia's asthma stabilized into manageable rhythms, nebulizer nights, and track day precautions, but it reshaped our world into vigilant vigilance. Every cough a siren's call. By her 10th birthday, the apartment brimmed with balloons and banners. Her wish list a mix of science kits and swim goggles. We threw a pool party at the academy. Kids splashing under supervision. Alex DJing upbeat tracks while I grilled veggie burgers. Best dads ever. She beamed. Cake frosting smeared. And in that glow, doubts dissolved. Fall 5 deepened bonds. Middle school loomed. Hormones and hierarchies. We prepped with talks on bullies. Boundaries. Her queerness a budding question. Like you too. She probed over dinner. Fork paused. Alex's nod gentle. Exactly. Love's a spectrum, find your colors. Coaching crested, nationals and Indy. My relays podium. His sprinters relays. Postmeet hotel. Champagne toasts. Mia's FaceTime cheers, gold uncles. But homefront brewed storm. Dad's health falter, prostate scare. Surgery scheduled. Flights to Florida. Hospital vigils. Mom's steals softened by our support. You boys turned out right. He rasped post-op. Hand squeeze sealing peace. Thanksgiving hybrid. Zoom from beaches. Turkey via delivery. Mia's skit Thanksgiving wrap drew laughs. Healing divides. Winter wrapped gifts. Family ski trip to Aspen. Her first slopes wobbly but willing. Alex's knee twinged. But he boarded tandem. Her whoops wind whipped. Spring surge. Mia's science fair wind project on fluid dynamics. Inspired by our pool tales. Pride swelled. School assembly feature. Her poise podium worthy. Summer adventure. Cross-country train. Amtrak clicks lulling. Stops at Grand Canyon. Her awe-echoing hours. Tiny specks. Big world. Fall 6. Teen tendrils. First dance invite girl from class. Platonic promise. We shopped awkward tuxes. Corsage tips. Drop-off, jitters masked cool. Work whirl, promotion for my head coach. Alex. Director. Press junkets. Podcast plugs, from locker rooms to legacies. But undercurrent churned, online trolls. Post-article hate mail. Groomers. One spat. We shielded Mia. But venom seeped her school's whisper net. Winter walled, counseling refresh. Family sessions unpacking. Her voice, I got this, your love's my armor. Spring shield, ally assembly. Her speech snippet, families who stays. Through trials. Corners echo, changes courage. Plans core. 13th birthday marked Mia's metamorphosis, braces glinting. Growth spurt stretching her into willowy grace. Voice dipping in unexpected octaves. The party theme, under the sea. Her nod to our aquatic roots. Mermaid tails and trident cakes. But amid the bubbles, she pulled us aside. I serious, I like someone. A girl. Is that? Okay. Alex's grin split wide. More than. Who's the lucky mermaid? Her blush bloomed story classmate Lena. Shared sketches and secrets. We navigated firsts, group hangs. Permission slips. Her hand and ours at the door. Fall 7, high school horizon. Applications loomed. Essays on identity. Hers wove our tale. Two dads taught me love's no straight line. Coaching crossroads. Olympic scout for Alex's protege. My team international invite. Travel tugged. But we tag team Mia's games our anchor. Thanksgiving tradition, potluck with allies. Tables groaning. Stories shared. Dad. Recovered. Carved with quips, past the queer stuffing. Winter whirl, family cabin getaway. Snowshoe treks. Her first kiss story whispered by firelight Lena's. Sweet and stolen. Spring spark, Prom planning. Her tux choice fierce. We chaperoned. Corner shadows warding off creeps. Summer sojourn. Europe backpack Paris crepes. Rome ruins. Her journal filled. Worlds bigger than whispers. Fall 8. Freshman year frenzy. Swim team tryouts. Her freestyle fierce. Track club for balance. Dating dance Lena official. Double dates with us dorks. Work waves. Media docuseries pitch. Love laps. Our journey scripted. Reluctant yes. For visibility. But backlash bade. Protest at academy. Signs slurring. Security swarmed. Mia's school lockdown. Her text. Scared but strong. We rally press conference. Voices united. Hate hydrates nothing. Love laps all. Winter warmed. Holiday special filming. Her cameo candid. Spring stride. Series premiere. Views viral. Messages flooding. You saved me. Through surge. Locker's lesson. Corner's confession. Courage's cascade. High school's hustle hardened Mia into a forced GPA gleaming. Captain of swim. Her dives arrow straight echoes of mine. Dating Lena deepened. Movie marathons. Pride pins matched. But teen tempests brewed Lena's coming out clash with strict parents. Fractures forming. Mia's console calls late night. Our door always ajar. Fall 9. College scouts circled. Her essays evolving. From foster fog to family floodlights. Acceptances piled. UCLA nod. Our legacy wink. Coaching climax. Olympics year. Alex's athlete qualifying gold dream. Training intensified. His nights late. My practices peaking. Thanksgiving tension. Lena's seat empty. Her family's frost. Mia's quiet. Loves hard. Huh. Hardest win. Alex affirmed. Pie slice solidarity. Winter watch. Games in Tokyo. Virtual vigils. Gold medal moment our cheers synced across oceans. Tears televised. Spring send-off. Graduation galas. Her valedictorian veil. Speech soared. Thanks to the boys who cornered love and let it change everything. Summer send. Dorm drops. UCLA blues. Empty nest echoed. Our hands finding each other and new date nights reclaimed. Walks whispering futures. Fall 10. Empty apartment amplified joys Renos. Recipes. Our ring renewals romantic. Mia's calls. College crazy. But crushing. Work wins. Docuseries Emmy buzz. Panels preaching progress. But Mia's arced. Lena breakup. Heartbreak's hammer. Homecoming weekend. Ice cream therapy. Her head on my lap. Worth the hurt. Every scar. I said. Alex's ad. Heals to stories. Winter wisdom. Holiday home. Her glow returning new crush hints. Self-love lessons. Spring strength. Her relay record. Our pride parental. Through empty secco. Locker's light. Changes chain. Unbroken. Mia's college years flew like freestyle sprints. UCLA Bruins blew her banner. Majors in marine bio. Minors in activism. Visits bridged. Parents' weekends. Her dorm a shrine to our photos. Dating danced post Lena flings. Then Theo. Non-binary artist. Canvas kisses and gallery dates. There it. She confided over video. Eyes alight. Our nest refilled. Fostering again teen brother-sister duo. Jamal and Sophia. 14 and 12. Trauma tough, but tender. Paperwork whirl. Bedrooms prepped. Their arrival a whirlwind of wary wonders. Fall 11. Quartet chaos Jamal's basketball dreams. Sophia's violin strains. Mia mentored long distance. Big sis vibes virtual. Coaching crests, retirements loomed. Our legacies lined alumni halls calling. Thanksgiving tableau, table 10. Story stacking. Dad's tales taller. Mr. Ramirez's grace deeper. Winter weave, family ski redux. Quads quadrupling joy. Mia's holiday fly-in. Theo and Topernouns practiced. Hugs heartfelt. Spring sync. Her thesis defense. Our Zoom cheers. Jamal's dunk. Sophia's solo applauded. Summer stitch. Vacui Villa in Mexico. Waves our classroom snorkels, revealing reefs. Resilience. Fall 12. Adoptions finalized. Official Ohana. Mia's grad school app's Stanford Marine program. Our Cali roots rejoicing. Work waves. Hall of Fame inductions. Dual plaques, Hudson and Alex. Partners in pool and purpose. But Ben's buffeted. Jamal's bullying bout. School fight fallout. Counseling circles. Our circle closing tight. Winter warmth. Holiday lights labyrinth. Foster to forever formalized. Spring splendor. Mia's engagement, Theo's ring rainbow set. Our toasts tear-tinged. Through expansions. Corners core. Confessions current. Carrying all. Decades danced on. Silver threading our curls. Laugh lines mapping memories. Mia's wedding beachside. Waves witnesses her vows, echoing ours. You showed me love's a dive. Deep and daring. Jamal and Sophia. Groomsmen grown. Grin beside Theo. Our coaching careers capped, emeritus titles. Clinics global, love laps, ethos exported. Grandkids gurgle Jamal's twins. Sophia's sprout pool parties perpetual. One autumn afternoon. Back at Lincoln High's locker room renovated. Rainbows etched in tiles we stood. Hands clasped. Cornered here. Alex mused. Hazel eyes twinkling. Changed everything. I finished. Lips brushing his. And in that echo, the hook held not tight. Story spun. Humanity's heart, love. Cornered. Conquers.